time you start shopping, the prices will already be higher and you won't save a dime. Today, me and my partner Bill are going to tell you why you have to catch interest rates at exactly the right time and why it's just like finding the perfectly slutty girl in a nightclub. Get ready. This is all going to make sense for you guys. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Brandon. Great intro, right?
No, let's not waste the audience's time today. There is a interest rate fantasy that everyone in America is living. And they get sold this fantasy because no one teaches them what interest rates do. Bill, this is the interest rate fantasy. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
The interest rates are going to drop, but my house is going to stay the same price. That's the interest rate fantasy. You know, it's the same fantasy that guys have. You know, guys are stupid. Guys have this fantasy that we're going to walk into a nightclub and it's going to be free. And every girl there is going to want us, right? It's a fantasy. We know it's not true. We know one of two things is going to happen. You show up to that club and they're charging $50 to get in, or you show up to that club, it's free, but there's 10,000 dudes in there all competing for the same stuff, right? Mm-hmm. That's the fantasy people are living with interest rates, where they say, well, look at this $400,000 house. If the rates just go down to 3%, I can finally afford it. Okay, well, Bill, let's explain to them what happens when the interest rates go down.
Well, there's more buyers. So everybody wants to buy that house at 3%. But not everybody wants to buy the house at 6.5%, 7%. 100%. They don't want to do it. And they're afraid to do it.
Yes.
And it's fear.
And even worse, guys, do you know how many people don't know what the interest rates actually do? Guys, when the interest rates go down, that means the banks can give more money to more people for cheaper. Okay? All of you lived through COVID. What happened when we gave people a bunch of money for COVID? Did they save it? Did they invest it? Or did they buy Jordans, televisions, and boats? Why is the world so inflated right now? Right? Why is the world so inflated right now? Well, what do people do with their COVID money? They inflated the market. They spent it.
Yes.
So what happens when the interest rate goes down? They give people more money. They're going to do the same thing to the housing market. Simply take the inflation you're seeing on eggs and milk and gas and move it over to the housing market, right? They're going to blow up the price. You have a very small window, Bill, and you know this as well as I do. You have a very small window between when the rates start to drop and housing prices go up. And that window is right damn now.
100%. I think the inflection point is right now.
Yeah.
And it can go away like this. And I think that there's so much opportunity right now for people to get in. I see it all the time. What ends up happening is we're seeing rates sneakily get lower and lower and lower. We're now approaching 6.5% on a conventional mortgage. What that means is FHA and VA, they're now close to the high fives.
It's the fives.
When we're into the fives, guess what? They all come back. They go, whoa, it's a psychological number.
We're already seeing.
It's in that fives. And you know what happens. I've talked about it before. What happens if you have a 1% decline in the interest rates?
Yes.
It brings in potential buyers, 5 million potential buyers that now have more ability to afford a home.
It's a sausage fest in the club, Bill.
We didn't even sell 5 million homes last year. It's 4 million.
It's a sausage fest. Yeah. That's what happens. You have too many buyers, not enough products, right? Let's hit them with a dad rant. Dad rant of the day. Explaining interest rates is like explaining a slutty girl at a nightclub, okay? You pay your $40 because you want to go to the nightclub on ladies' night where there's a bunch of girls there because you want better chances of going. You want to find that one girl who's willing to go home with you tonight. So you pay your $40, you pay your higher interest rate, you go to the club, there's 100 girls there, 30 of them are willing to go home with you that night, and you don't talk to a single one. You don't talk to a single one. If you don't go talk to her, how do you know if she's willing to go home with you for cheap? The same thing applies to real estate. These houses are so slutty right now, you wouldn't imagine it. They'll pay your closing cost. They'll give you seller contributions. They'll drop their price by $25,000. But until you go talk to the house, you'll never know how good you have it.
You have to ask.
You have to ask. You have to ask. If you're not willing to talk to the girl, you'll never know if she's willing to go home with you. If you're not willing to go talk to the house and make an offer, you never know how cheap they're willing to do it. If you don't start, if you don't play the game, you're wasting everybody's time. So, Bill, if they don't like analogies, because some people don't like my nightclub analogies, some of these guys have never talked to a girl in their life, so let's get them with something that they know. Math.
Math makes a difference. It's all about math.
Math.
Right? And go ahead.
I'm going to have Austin, in fact, I'm going to send him a screenshot of this so that during the video, we can try to have this on there, right? Because when we're talking, it's a little hard for people. So, 2 scenarios. Are you ready, Bill? 2 scenarios.
Ready.
Scenario A, $400,000 home, 7% interest rate. At 5% down, at 5% down, you're looking at a loan of $380,000. That means a down payment of $20,000. Your monthly P&I, just principal and interest, is $2,500. Okay?
Yep.
$2,500.
Yep.
Scenario B, the interest rate now goes down to 5%. Do you know what the housing price is now, Bill?
What's that?
$475,000. So you got your lower interest rate,
You did.
but what happened to the price, right? Now your 20%, or not your 20%, your 5% is $25,000. Now your monthly P&I is $2,400. So
they're saving money.
You saved
They
money.
saved $100.
You saved $100 a month.
That's good.
At the cost of a $5,000 bigger down payment and a $75,000 more expensive house. Bill, if I told you I would give you $100 a month if you gave me $7,000 or $75,000, would you do that?
Well, let me do the math on that. So if you're basically paying $80,000 more,
Yes.
and saving $100 a month.
Yes.
So divided by that equals, it would only take 800 months to basically
get your money
back on that $80,000.
Guys, the reason that we're laughing,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It does not make sense.
But this is what happens when you don't teach an entire generation how math works. If I asked any millennial, hey, give me $75,000 and I'll give you $100 a month, they would never take that deal. But you tell them, hey, wait for the interest rate to come down so you could save on your mortgage. And they take the deal every single, because millennials are convinced that if the interest rate goes down by 2%, they're going to save $800 a month. That's what they're convinced, because they go to their mortgage calculator, they put $400,000 and they just drop the interest rate. They live in this fantasy world, Bill. They live in I call it the millennial fantasy, where they get something for nothing. The interest rate's going to go down. Everybody's going to get more money. But in this magical world, no one's going to spend it.
Nothing's going to change.
No one's going to spend it. They ignore the fact that the interest rate goes down for Airbnb investors. The interest rate goes down for Verbo investors. The interest rate goes down for rich people. The interest rate goes down for Elon Musk. The interest rate goes down for Jeff Bezos. The interest rate goes down for that asshole Andy Elliott. The interest rate goes down for Chinese investors. It goes down for Canadian. The interest rate goes down for everybody. But they live in this fantasy world where the interest rate only goes down for them and just them.
Yeah, and everything stays the same. House price is not going to stay the same. If it goes to 5%, there's no way it's going to stay the same.
I'm the only person who's going to buy houses.
And the other thing, and we're talking about it right now, you talk about if you don't ask, you will never know.
You'll never know.
And right now, these sellers are giving away that free money.
Yeah.
So not only are they saving that $80,000, right? They're getting an additional at least $10,000 to $20,000 on top of that because of the seller closing costs that the seller is giving out to help them buy the home. So what can they do, Brandon, if they want to if they take a higher interest rate? Do you think they can refinance their house and get a lower interest rate when the rates do drop to 5%?
That's exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
You will hear this phrase
Check it out.
over.
Question. Luis Ortega says, I be hearing interest rates will drop around September. All bullshit.
The interest rates have been dropping. The interest rates have been dropping steadily for the last 3 weeks. We are now at the lowest interest rates since September of 2024, when they dropped for like a week and then immediately spiked back up. So all evidence shows that interest rates are coming down, trickling down slowly. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. I've repeated this. You guys can watch previous episodes. It doesn't matter. You can always refinance your interest rates later. More importantly, Bill, and this is the part. Let's say you're the person who goes on scenario A. You buy the house for $400,000. Guess what happens when person B comes and buys your house for $475,000? You just made $75,000 in equity. Do you know what you can do with that equity, Bill? You can refinance your interest rates. Bill.
And remove mortgage insurance and remove all that stuff. But the other thing is, they can get a below market interest rate now.
Yes.
Why can they get a below market interest rate now? They can do a buy down that the seller pays for them.
Yes.
So they can get like a temporary 2-1 buy down where the interest rate is 2% lower. You talk about 7%.
Yeah.
Now they can get 5% for the first year, 6% for the second year, and then it goes to 7%.
And then refinance.
But within that time period, if they do go to 5, like everybody thinks they will, I'm waiting for rates to go down, they can then refinance back down to that 5%.
Bill, what does it cost? Let's say I'm getting, now obviously costs are different based on each house. $1 million house is going to cost different. Let's just go with that scenario here. We have a $400,000 house. What would it cost a seller to give a 2-1 buy down?
So generally it's about 2% of the value of the home.
Okay.
So if it's $400,000, the cost to the seller would be $8,000 roughly.
Okay. So it would cost the seller $8,000 to give you the 2-1 buy down and lower your interest rate by 2%.
Correct.
Right? Bill, we've gotten $10,000 on the last 7 houses. I've gotten at least $10,000 on our last 7 houses, which means the seller is more than willing to pay for your rate buy down. All you have to do is talk to the girl.
Can I say something? One of your clients, I can't name because we don't want to do that. I was talking to him yesterday.
Yeah.
And he goes, Brandon went ahead and asked for an additional 1%. And Brandon says, I don't think we're going to get it. And all of a sudden, you got it. And he was like, oh my God, Brandon didn't even think I was going to get it.
No.
But he asked.
Yeah.
And he got it.
It never hurts.
You have to ask to understand what that seller is willing to do. Some sellers want to move on to the next house so that they can make it up on the next house.
Listen.
Or they need the money. There's something going on with the seller. The seller's house is listed for a reason.
Yep.
They want to sell it.
It's like, okay, so let's go. We're going to use an analogy here. It's going to feel off topic, but it's totally an analogy.
Okay.
You guys can look at me. I've always been a bigger dude, right? But I've always dated women way above my number, right? So if you think I'm like a 4 or a 5, I've always dated women who were way above that, right? Because I simply have the confidence to go talk to the girl, right? I have no shame. I don't fear rejection. I just, what's the worst that they can say? No? Okay. Then I go right back to living my boring 4-5 life, right? I have no problem asking. It's the same thing with real estate. Look, I don't think the seller is going to give you $20,000 and pay for the solar, but let's fucking ask. This house might be completely slutty and might be willing to give the whole game away. Let's go take a chance. Let's go figure it out, right? It never hurts to ask. It never hurts to ask. You don't know if the seller's desperate. You don't know if they're going through a divorce. You don't know if it's a military family and they need to move tomorrow. You don't know what the hell is going on, right? Perfect example. We had a great house over in Henderson, $650,000, right? But guess what? The seller was paying 2 mortgages. And the seller told me, hey, whatever the next offer we get, just fucking take it. We got an offer at $590. We took it. We took it. Did I think the agent was crazy for offering $60,000 less? Of course I did. Did we say yes? Of course we did, right? Because you never know what situation that other person's in.
Well, you got over $30,000 for one of your clients
Oh my God.
paying off solar
Yep.
on a $400,000 home.
Insane.
That's like 8%. It's like
Insane.
almost 10%.
Insane.
Right?
Yes.
So, and it was just because there were circumstances on the seller side and they wanted to sell the house. And if you don't ask, you don't know. And this is where I talk about it right now, the free money. If there's money out there waiting for you to take if you're willing to take the calculated risk.
100%.
You have to take some kind, there's always a little bit of risk in whatever you do, but if you're calculated with it, then it can make sense.
Making money is the act of being courageous. I tell people that all the time and they think I'm crazy. Bitcoin dropped down to like 114,000. Some people panicked. Other people bought the shit out of it and now it's back up to 121,000, right? Tesla dipped to like $223 a share. I maxed out my limit of Tesla. Now it's up to 333. You have to have courage. Even when everybody else is telling you that it's the wrong thing, you have to have the courage and belief, right? Let's go over some numbers because courage and belief is really hard to get across to an audience, okay? In 2020 to 2021, with rates near 3%, home values in America rose by an average of 25% over 1 year.
That's unbelievable.
I'm going to repeat this again. From 2020 to the end of 2021, with rates at 3%, home prices rose by 25%. And as Bill has told you guys on this channel, it's because people were buying second homes, third homes. For the average home buyer during COVID and during 2021 were second home buyers. Why? Because the interest rates were so low that buying a second home was essentially free money, right?
Yes.
So now instead of competing with Joe Schmoes like me and Robert and Austin, they're competing with people like Bill, right? I couldn't compete with, if Bill wants a house and I want a house, it's Bill's house. I quit. Perfect example. When I was buying my new build, okay? One of the Raiders wanted my house, okay? It had the beautiful wooden-like floors. It had a better view of the strip. My wife is like, oh, Brandon, why don't we get this house? I said, because there's a fucking Raider who wants it, baby. And I know I'm doing well for us, but he's got Raider money. If he wants this house,
we're out.
We're out, right? And that's what low interest rates are. You're competing with the Raiders. Yeah. You're competing with rich people, actual rich people for the same houses. You don't want that, right? When rates go down, the rush shows up, right?
Yep.
The rush shows up. Because like you said,
it's the herd.
It's the herd. We had 4 million houses sold. When the rates go down, 5 million new buyers hit the market. We don't have enough houses.
Yeah.
We don't have enough houses. If you live in America right now, backyards are getting smaller. Why? We don't have enough houses. Houses are getting more expensive. Why? We don't have enough houses. And yet these people are cheering for the interest rate to come down to make it easier for people to buy houses. It's a fantasy world, Bill. It's a fantasy world. The long game always wins.
For sure.
The long game always wins, right? Bill, please explain to the viewer why refinancing your rate is the key to winning in the long game.
So refinancing is essentially taking the current interest rate that you have on your home and replacing it with a lower interest rate.
Yes.
And refinancing can happen at any time, at any moment that it makes economic sense. So if you buy a house today at, I'm going to call a round number of 7%, it's less than that, but 7%, and it goes down to 6% in 6 months, you can refinance in 6 months and get your payment lower. If it goes down another percent in the next 6 months, you can refinance again to 5%.
Yep.
If it makes sense.
Yep.
Right? And so, and obviously I want to say we have a Lender for Life program where we waive lender fees on a refinance. So it really reduces the cost tremendously. It's a great program.
Can you talk a little about that program? Because that's huge. What is Lender for Life? So if they use you to purchase the home.
To purchase a home, we have a Lender for Life program where we waive lender fees, all lender fees, and they're only responsible for basically the title and escrow. And it reduces the cost tremendously so that the payback period when you refinance is far less.
Okay, so Bill, let's just give them one last number because I know too many numbers confuses them. Okay. So if you wait for the interest rate to drop, your $400,000 house becomes $475,000. So you're paying extra $75,000, right? Does refinancing cost $75,000?
No.
No. Does it cost $7,500?
No.
No. So it is more than 10 times cheaper to buy the house and refinance it than to sit there and wait for the rates to come down, right?
Yes. And again, the thing that drives me crazy, because I see this, as you know, Brandon, every single day, and I'm watching these rates, and I'm seeing the market, and I'm seeing what they're trying to do. Their focus is trying to get those rates to go lower, and it is creeping down. I hope it doesn't drop like a rock, because we'll lose out on a lot of people will like really be freaked out, because then values are going to go like this.
Yeah.
But there's that free money right now that they can get for the seller paid closing costs, for buy downs, to get a lower rate right now that they really, really want. And that window is going to go away.
Yes.
And that window, I don't know when it is, but I'll tell you, in my guesstimation, it's probably within the next 6 to 12 months.
Yes, 100%. Everything he's telling you guys is true. And you guys have heard me make this prediction before, and every time we make this prediction, it's right. We told you guys before, Las Vegas is making 6.6% equity even during the highest interest rates of all time. Guess what, guys? Housing prices are going to go up again this year despite the interest rates, okay? If housing prices are going up with the highest interest rates, what the hell do you think is going to happen as these interest rates are going to start coming down? We're going to see another crazy seller's market. And I'm telling you, if you think Las Vegas is priced out of the housing market today, you should see what it looks like 2 years from now. If you do not start taking this seriously, if you keep letting interest rates scare you, you are going to be a renter in Las Vegas until you die. Your kids are going to be renters, their kids are going to be renters, or you're going to have to do what California did to Vegas. You're going to have to do it to some other town, right? All of Las Vegas is going to have to move to South Dakota or North Dakota or, Nebraska or wherever is cheaper. Because I'm telling you, no matter what anybody tells you, there's no market crash coming. There's no bubble coming. These housing prices will not go down. You either have to be smart, buy a house and refinance, or just admit right now you're going to rent forever, right? Don't get caught staring at the rate sheet while prices walk away from you. The buyers who win aren't the ones who time the market. It's the ones who spend the most time on the market. Bill just told you they have a lender for life program where they refinance, right? And they waive the fees except for title and escrow fee. He already told you it's more than 10 times cheaper than waiting for your house's price to escalate. Bill, how do they reach you so they can get more information and stop wasting their time?
BillGaylord.com, and you can schedule a free consult. It's easy.
It's easy.
And just find out where you stand right now. There's so many people that go, gosh, I got to fix my credit, or I got to save a little bit more. There's down payment assistance. There's so many things. There's so many people that can buy right now, but they don't think they can. And unless they actually discover where they stand today, they won't get to where they need to be tomorrow.
Yes.
So they should do it today. BillGaylord.com.
Or you can find him on Instagram at o.gaylord. Okay? I tag him all the time. Please reach out. Talk to the girl. That's all you have to do. The worst thing that we can tell you is no. But more importantly, Bill will tell you how to get to yes, right? Like when you go talk to a girl, right? Let's be real. When you go talk to a girl, she's not going to be like, I'm not attracted to you, but here's exactly what you can do to make me attracted to you. She's never going to do that. But when you go talk to Bill, he might tell you no, but he's going to be like, look, if you fix these few things, this is how we can get to a yes.
I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say not right now.
Not right now.
Not right now, but here's where you need to do, here's the things that we can work on to build the game plan to get you into the house.
Yes.
And I'm never going to say no, because there's always a way. Everybody has an opportunity. They have to know the direction and which way to go.
100%. Guys, I'm Brandon from Vegas. You know you can reach me any way you want to. We have real estate forums on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You fill it out, contact us directly. You can send me a DM on any platform. You can comment on this video later on. I will help anybody who wants help, but you have to be willing to. When I was in college, right? I would tell any guy, look, bro, I'll be your wingman. I'll get rid of her friends. I'll talk you up. I'll buy rounds. I'll do whatever it takes. But you have to have the courage to go talk to the girl. And I'm telling you guys the same thing now. You must go talk to the girl. I will help you. But if you're not willing to talk, if you're not willing to get started, no one can save you from yourself. So, Bill, I think we educated the hell out of him. I think we made him laugh a little bit. I hope we made you guys laugh a little bit. But ultimately, I hope we gave you guys enough information for you to feel courageous and get started so you guys can join us up here at the Big Boy Table. As always, thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Audience, thank you guys for your time. Peace, 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 peace. Robert doesn't mind this as much as Austin does, so it's a little less fun because no one's shooting me dirty looks when I do this. All right, over here on Instagram, guys, we have very limited time. I have to go have a lunch with Metro and talk about some stuff. So, Bill is here. If you guys have any questions about financing, lending, mortgages, refinance, interest rates, if you have any questions about any of that stuff, ask it now.